in Tennessee. Traveled miles, but the end I couldn't see. Heart was heavy, lost in the night, but I kept searching for a guiding light. Stopped by a church, heard the choir sing. Their voices lifted, made the church bells ring. Felt a warmth I hadn't known before. As they sang praises, I walked through the door. Lord, I've wandered far from your side, through the shadows where my demons hide. But I hear your call through the darkest night. Take my hand and lead me back to the light, to the light. Sat in the pew, bowed my head in shame. Years of sins, couldn't bear the blame. Preacher spoke of grace, pure and true. Said there's always a place for souls like you. Left my burdens at that altar rail. Felt a peace where once was only well. Tears of joy streamed down my face. Found redemption in a humble place. Lord, I've wandered far from your side, through the shadows where my demons hide. But I hear your call through the darkest night. Take my hand and lead me back to the light. In a chapel by the riverside, where the willows weep and sway, I found my heart was heavy, I'd lost my way to pray. The stained glass caught the sunlight, painted colors on my knees. As I bowed my head in silence, whispered, Lord, oh, hear me please. My hands were worn from labor, my soul was tired and bruised. The road I took was lonely, filled with sorrow and abuse. Then a voice so soft and gentle called me from the darkest night, saying, son, just take my hand now, I'll lead you to the light. I'm turning to the light now, letting go of all my fears. Jesus, take this broken heart and dry these endless tears. With every step I'm taking, I feel His love so bright. Thank the Lord, I'm finally turning to the light. The choir sang a mercy, their voices pure and true. In their harmony I heard it, the grace I never knew. Each note lifted my spirit, every word a beacon bright. I walk the path of salvation through the light. Now my heart is lighter, the chains have fallen free. I see the world with clarity, His love has rescued me. In the laughter of the children, in the morning's gentle breeze, I feel His holy presence bringing me to my knees. I'm turning to the light now, letting go of all my fears. Jesus, take this broken heart and dry these endless tears. With every step I'm taking, I feel His love so bright. Thank the Lord, I'm finally turning to the light. I left my hometown at the break of dawn, chasing dreams that never seemed to come along. I lost my way in the city lights, but in the stillness I found my fight. Mama's prayers echoed in my mind as I wandered roads so rough and unkind. Her faith was stronger than my pride. In the darkest nights, she was my guide. It's a long way home, but the heart knows. Through the valleys deep and the high plateau, though I strayed so far, I was never alone. God waits for me at the end of this long road home. Stumbled across a church on a lonely street. The choir sang a hymn so pure and sweet. I felt a pull that I'd never known, like angels calling me back to my throne. Words cut right through my soul, told me faith would make me whole. Knelt down low, I began to pray, felt the weight lift, the darkness fade away. It's a long way home, but the heart knows. Through the valleys deep and the high plateaus, though I strayed so far, I was never alone. God waits for me at the end of this long road home. There's a cowboy on the prairie, underneath the midnight sky. With calloused hands and weary bones, he whispers his goodbye to the dreams that turned to dust and the pain that made him cry. He built a life from struggle, standing tall and getting by. The wind did howls through the canyons and the stars began to fade, but he's found a little solace in the life that he has made. With every hurt he's driven and each bale of hay he laid, he knows the Lord is with him. In this place his heart's displayed. Send a prayer up to the heavens, hear the angels softly sing. For the cowboy in the morning, let the church bell start to ring. Give him strength to face tomorrow and the grace to heal his wounds in the land of endless promise, where his faith can be attuned. He remembers Sunday's sermon, the preacher's gentle voice, telling tales of God's own mercy, of redemption by his choice. Through the struggles and the heartache, he found reason to rejoice. A cowboy's life is lonesome, but his soul will find its poise. On Sunday, when the sun rises, paint and gold upon the earth, he kneels beside his campfire, thanking God for all he's worth. Through the rain that feeds the pasture and the silence that gives birth to the peace within his spirit and the strength he's felt since birth. There's a faded family Bible tucked inside his saddlebag, full of notes and heartfelt prayers, corners worn and pages sag. It's his anchor in the tempests, in the moments when he lag. He knows the Lord is riding, always close, he'll never drag. In the early morning light, she roams the open range. Her heart and soul are tethered to those horses she's untamed. With a Bible in her saddlebag, she rides through fields so vast. Her prayers blend with the whisper of the wind across the grass. At the break of dawn, the world feels fresh and new. Her steadfast Luke and Breezy know just what to do. Guided by her gentle hand and whispers deep with love, she thanks the Lord for every day and looks to him above. Faith in the saddle, trust in the reins. Through storm and sunshine, love remains. Guided by her gentle hand and whispers deep with love, she thanks the Lord for every day and looks to him above. Faith in the saddle, trust in the reins. Through storm and sunshine, love remains. With every trail she rides, each promise that he keeps, she finds her strength and grace where the soul is fear needs. In a small town church, she kneels to bow her head. Her hands are rough and calloused, her spirit is well fed. Praising in the silence, the pews are bare and old, but she hears a choir of angels in stories never told. The evening shadows lengthen, she returns to home sweet home. Her horse voices praising peacefully beneath the twilight dome. She finds her solace in the stars, the whispers of the night, knowing every journey ends with His everlasting light. Through trials and tribulations, the narrow path she chose, her faith shines like the morning sun in everything she knows. Her life's a testament of a love, of hope that never dies, in the eyes of every horse, in the blue eternal skies. Faith in the saddle, trust in the reins. Through storm and sunshine, love remains. With every trail she rides, each promise that He keeps, she finds her strength in grace, where the soul and spirit meet. Ooh, eternal sky. In a small white chapel we said our vows, promised each other under sacred boughs. Time rolled on and love it grew. In the eyes of our children God shone through. Sunday mornings all dressed in our best, holding hands, feeling truly blessed. Whispers of hymns and the preacher's call found our faith in those family walls. Heaven in our home, loving every prayer, guiding light through the dark we shared. Together we stand, never alone, found God in love and heaven in our home. Evening meals by the candlelight glow, shared stories of faith from long ago. Hand in hand we'd say grace, felt the Lord's presence in that place. When life got hard and we felt lost, turned to God no matter the cost. For tears and trials we held tight, found our way back to the guiding light. Heaven in our home, loving every prayer, guiding light through the dark we share. Together we stand, never alone, found God in love and heaven in our home. In our home, loving every prayer, guiding light through the dark we share. Together we stand, never alone, found God in love and heaven in our home. And heaven in our home. Underneath the big blue sky where the tall grass sways, we tend the fields hand in hand through sermon-filled days. Our hearts beat in rhythm to the choir of the land. In the early morning light, together we always stand. The old barn whispers secrets of years long gone, stories of sweat and tears and love that's grown strong. We bow our heads, giving thanks for each peaceful morn. On this sacred soil, our faith's everlasting song is born, where divine acres, where love and spirit bloom, where the winds of heaven sweep away the gloom. Arm in arm we work and pray God's glory in our sight. In the golden fields of grace, we find our guiding light. The cattle roam the meadow, the horses in the pen. Simple life, simple truth, never asking when. We share our daily bread with blessings from above. In the silence of the night, we rest in endless love. The harmonica's sweet notes blend with the evening hymn. The piano's gentle chords raise prayers to Him. Through every trial and triumph, with faith as our guide, on this ranch of promise, forever we'll abide. From dawn to dusk, through every chore, our spirits stay alive. In each furrow, row, and harvest, His grace we always find. In the shadows of the mountains, in the light of the setting sun, we hold tightly to each other until our work is done. He rode his horse through dust and flames, a man with scars and broken dreams. Whiskey nights and outlaw games, but now he's down on his knees in a chapel by the roadside. He felt a trembling in his soul. The preacher said, "Come inside and let the love take control." He found God in a simple prayer, in the quiet of the twilight air. A tough man humbled, standing there, humbled by His grace beyond compare. He worked those fields from dawn till dusk, hands calloused, yet his heart was soft. He traded chains of pain and lust for the light that lifted him aloft. Laying down his burdened heart in the glow of the altar's light, tears fell like the rain, a start to a path now shining bright. He found God in a simple prayer, in the quiet of the twilight air. A tough man humbled, standing there, humbled by His grace beyond compare. Down in that old dusty barn, with a six-string in my hand, strummed a tune I could never understand. Through the silence, a whisper so divine. In the notes I found a hymn, in the chords I found a sign. Was a long road traveled with the devil in my ear. There's something in that strumming brought heaven near. With every strum and every heartfelt string, I found solace, I found Him. I could hear angels sing. Lost and found through a simple melody. In the heart of music, found my destiny. With every note, I felt His gentle touch. In a barn with a guitar, He loved me so much. Nights were filled with whiskey, days a cloudy haze. But then the music called me back to simpler days. In the stillness of the barn, fingers on each string, I met God in the quiet, heard hallelujahs ring. It wasn't the preacher with his booming voice, but the soft murmur of chords that made me rejoice. In the strumming of the strings, I felt so free. Through that old guitar, His grace found me. Lost and found through a simple melody. In the heart of music, found my destiny. With every note, I felt His gentle touch. In a barn with a guitar, He loved me so much. It wasn't the preacher with his booming voice, but the soft murmur of chords that made me rejoice. In the strumming of the strings, I felt so free. Through that old guitar, His grace found me.
Here on the wide open plain, with lasso and a prayer, underneath the sky's domain, faith will take him anywhere. His horses run strong and true, through fields of gold and grace. In the evening's quiet hue, they find their peaceful place. Riding to glory hand in hand, with His faithful steed so grand, guided by the Lord's own plan, across this blessed land. The sunset calls him home to a humble cabin door, and whispers of a twilight gloam. He kneels to thank the Lord once more. His heart is pure as spring, with horses by his side. They hear the angels sing on every nightly ride. Ride into glory, hand in hand, with his faithful steed so grand, guided by the Lord's own plan, across this blessed land. With horses by his side, they hear the angels sing on every nightly ride. Ride into glory, hand in hand, with his faithful steed so grand, guided by the Lord's own plan, across this blessed land. Across this blessed land.
There's a church on the corner, stained glass shattered, a humble place where folks' hearts are battered. Each Sunday morning they gather to pray, but I linger outside, got nothing to say.
Mama whispers softly, son, come inside, but I can feel the guilt and shame I can't hide. My hands are too dirty, my soul too worn, for those sacred pews where hearts are reborn.
God, I ain't worthy of your holy ground. My sins feel heavy, weighing me down. I hear them sing, but I can't join in. This broken soul of mine, so full of sin. I walk the back roads, find peace in the quiet, away from the altar, away from the light. The river's my chapel, the trees recite a sermon of forgiveness on a lonely night.
But deep in my heart there's a flicker of hope, an ember of faith, a chance to cope. Maybe one day I'll step through that door and find I'm forgiven, loved evermore. God, I ain't worthy of your holy ground. My sins feel heavy, weighing me down. I hear them singing, but I can't join in. This broken soul of mine, so full of sin. God, I ain't worthy of your holy ground. My sins feel heavy, weighing me down. I hear them singing, but I can't join in. This broken soul of mine, so full of sin. I walk the back road, find peace in the quiet, away from the altar, away from the light. The river from the altar, away from the light. The river's my chapel, the trees recite. This broken soul of mine, so full of sin. This broken soul of mine, so full of sin. I walk the back roads, find peace in the quiet, away from the altar, away from the light. Away from the altar, away from the light. The river's my chapel, the trees recite. In a one-horse town where the prairies sing, a cowboy kneels by the church bells ring. With weathered hands, he holds his worn-out book and reads the words by the babbling brook.
beneath the sky so wide and free, he finds his faith on bended knee. With every sunset, he feels the grace as the harmonica's tune fills the place. Riding with Jesus through the open plains, feeling his power in the pouring rain. With the Bible in his saddle, heart full of prayer, the cowboy knows his Savior's there. Firelight, he shares his tale of redemption found on that dusty trail. Then the leather-bound guide that lights his way as he walks the path to brighter days. Riding with Jesus through the open plains, feeling his power in the pouring rains. With the Bible in his saddle, heart full of prayer, the cowboy knows his Savior's there. From dawn till dusk, through thick and thin, his faith in God never fades within. Every chapter read, every psalm recited, the cowboy's soul is forever ignited. Riding with Jesus through the open plains, feeling his power in the pouring rains. With the Bible in his saddle, heart full of prayer, the cowboy knows his Savior's there.
I was lost and nameless, drifting through the night, till she walked into my life, shining pure and bright. Her smile was like a beacon guiding my way. She showed me heaven's light in the break of day. Her gentle hand in mine made a sinner believe that grace could be found even in the least of these. With every step we took, my heart began to mend. She led me to the Lord like a true friend. Through her eyes I saw the Savior's face. In her love I felt amazing grace. Every step we took, my heart began to mend. She led me to the Lord like a true friend. Through her eyes I saw the Savior's face. In her love I felt amazing grace. She brought me to my knees with her love so pure. Now I walk with Him and I'm forever sure. Sunday mornings by her side, hymns filled the air. She taught me how to pray, taught me how to care. In the quiet moments, she'd softly say, God is with us each and every day. In her laughter I heard angels sing. She showed me the beauty in the simplest things. With every whispered prayer my doubts took flight. She lit the candles of my soul with her light. Through her eyes I saw the Savior's face. In her love I felt amazing grace. She brought me to my knees with her love so pure. Now I walk with Him and I'm forever sure. Through her eyes I saw the Savior's face.
Come and let the gospel fill the air with songs of peace and answered prayer. In this place where love runs deep, silent night in Tennessee. Snowflakes fall on our old town square. Christmas lights strung everywhere. Church bells ringing through the frost, reminding us of what was lost. Mama's baking in the old wood stove. Daddy's reading about the angels above. Kids by the fire with eyes so bright. In this holy silent night, oh, let the gospel fill the air with songs of peace and answered prayer. In this place where love runs deep, silent night in Tennessee. Stars hang high like heaven's choir, singing carols by the fire. Memories of years gone by dance like angels in the sky. Grandpa strums his old guitar, singing praises near and far. Voices join in harmony underneath that cedar tree. Oh, let the gospel fill the air with songs of peace and answered prayer. In this place where love runs deep, silent night in Tennessee. Oh, let the gospel fill the air with songs of peace and answered prayer. In this place where love runs deep, silent night in Tennessee. He was just a young boy, chasing dreams neath the sky, running through the tall pines where the wildflowers lie. With a harmonica in hand, he played a simple tune, reflecting in the stillness of a warm summer noon. The years rolled by like thunder on those long dusty trails. He grew into a strong man through the storms and the gales. With calloused hands from labor and a heart full of song, he found the Lord beside him, helping him stay strong. Oh, the ranch was his kingdom, the sky was his dome. Under the watchful eye of the Lord in his home, with harmonic melodies and a prayer on his lips, he walked this sacred ground through an endless eclipse. The winters, they were harsh, but his spirit never cracked. He learned to cherish moments he never get back. He played his trusty harmonica by the firelight's glow,
thanking heavens above as the cold winds would blow. Now he's an old man, but his faith is still young, with silver in his hair and praises on his tongue. He kneels by his bedside, harmonica in hand, whispering through music to the promised land. Oh, the ranch was his kingdom, the sky was his dome, under the watchful eye of the Lord in his home, with harmonic melodies and a prayer on his lips. He walked this sacred ground through an endless eclipse. Oh, the ranch was his kingdom, the sky was his dome, under the watchful eye of the Lord in his home, with harmonic melodies and a prayer on his lips. He walked this sacred ground through an endless eclipse. In a small town church on a Sunday morn, kneeling at the altar, feeling so warm, I prayed to the Lord for a little light in this rugged path through the darkest night. Walking through the valley, felt so alone, heard his whisper soft like a gentle moan. But the world's temptations pulled me away, found myself astray neath the sin's heavy sway. Wandering soul, I'm seeking your grace, with every step in this weary race. Guide me back to your loving arms, save me, Lord, from the world's harsh charms. In the silence of the midnight hour, felt his presence like a mighty tower. But doubts and fears crept into my mind, still his love was there, so pure and kind. Stumbled and fell more times than a few, but his mercy's reign, it always renews. Through the thunderstorms and the broken skies, his faithfulness, it never lies. Wandering soul, I'm seeking your grace, with every step in this weary race. Guide me back to your loving arms, save me, Lord, from the world's harsh charms. Your grace, with every step in this weary race. Guide me back to your loving arms, save me, Lord, from the world's harsh charms. A cool September morning in a little one-bedroom home, I saw a tiny face so pure and new, my heart would never roam. With tears of joy a-flowing, I held that baby close and tight. In her eyes I saw the heavens and felt the warmth of holy light. When Angel was born, I found the Lord that day. In her tiny hands, her gentle smile, I knew his love had come to stay. The troubles of my past life feel like leaves from autumn trees. In her laughter I heard the angels, and my soul was finally at ease. Through sleepless nights and lullabies, I found my way to grace. In every cry and whispered giggle, I saw the glory in her face. With tears of joy flowing, I held that baby close and tight. In her eyes I saw the heavens and felt the warmth of holy light. When an angel was born, I found the Lord that day. In her tiny hands, her gentle smile, I knew His love had come to stay. The troubles of my past life feel like leaves from autumn trees. In her tiny hands, her gentle smile, I knew His love had come to stay. The troubles of my past life feel like leaves from autumn trees. In her tiny hands, her gentle smile, I knew His love had come to stay.
In a small town church by the river bend, where the willow trees would gently bend, I remember Sundays filled with grace, when life's troubles seemed miles away. Mama's voice would lead us in a hymn. Daddy's hands were calloused yet so kind. Neighbors gathered, hearts all intertwined. Those were simpler, sweeter days back then, when grace was enough to get us through. With every prayer we found something true. Once more, when grace was enough and life was sure. The old dusty roads we used to roam, sunset skies that felt like home, children laughing, Bible stories shared. Every hardship was lighter back there. That little church still stands today, though time has turned my hair to gray. Memories flood like a hymn, sweet ray, bringing peace to my soul, come what may. When grace was enough to get us through. With every prayer we found something true. Oh, how I long for those days once more, when grace was enough and life was sure. That little church still stands today, though time has turned my hair to gray. Memories flood like a hymn, sweet ray, bringing peace to my soul, come what may. When grace was enough to get us doesn't